Namaste, Jai Bharat. Let's think about China from the perspective of Bharat. In fact, China, really the people of China, used to have excellent relations with the people of Bharat in ancient times. The exchanges of scholars and the very religion had gone from Bharat, and interestingly, their famous Shaolin temple and their famous Shaolin martial arts, Kung Fu, etc., was originally the creation of a prince from the southern part of India, South India, namely Tamil Nadu, who had gone to China in Shaolin temple. His name is Bodhi Varman. Now all Varman are Kshatriyas, kings, etc. So it is Bodhi Varman who initiated the martial arts and Shaolin temple, etc. In China. So that used to be the kind of relations that China used to have with Bharat in ancient times. But with the coming of communism in China, everything is changed. They are now the most unfriendly nation to any of their neighbors, not just with us. In fact, Bharat do not at all have a border with China. We don't have a border with China. Our border is with Tibet. And they have occupied and captured Tibet and then say that it's their border. It's not China border. We don't have a border with China at all. Our borders are with Tibet, and Tibet is as good as Bharat for us, though they're two politically different, like Nepal. Nepal is an autonomous nation, politically different, but we are culturally united as one nation. They have their autonomy, they have their rules, they have their laws, but for a Nepali to come to Bharat, and for a Bharatiya to go to Nepal, we don't need travel documents. We just walk into Nepal. See, my wife had gone to Nepal. She just walked across the border, and then our credit cards don't work. So I have a student who is in Kathmandu. She paid her flight tickets, etc. Then after reaching there, she paid. Indian currency works. You don't have to change Indian Nepali currency. Now Indian currency works. Now that is Nepal to Bharat. And that is how the people of Nepal and people of Bharat, they don't feel they are different from one another. They really don't feel that they are different from one another. And that's the case with Tibet. That is the case with Tibet. But China has occupied, captured Tibet through military action. And our then Prime Minister, out of all the foliage he has done, this is a great thing he has done by accepting Dalai Lama to Bharat, bringing him to Bharat. Bapu also was involved, definitely. But this is one thing that all people of Bharat are grateful to our first Prime Minister, Nehru. And he was given, he runs a kind of he's still the king, I don't know the right word. He's the Dalai Lama is a ruler is right word. Dalai Lama is a ruler of Tibet, even today, but from exile. He sits in Dharmasthal, he sits in Bharat, and they have the real Tibetan society unhindered and undisturbed, flourishing and existing in Bharat. I had lot of Tibetan students in my university. They study, and for all higher education, they go to some select universities only. They may not go to everywhere, but where they find comfort, they come. So my university has a lot of Tibetan students, and they don't find themselves different from others. They are born in Bharat, they all speak Hindi, so fine. They speak Hindi, so it's as good as any of us. And they live in hostels. Here, of course, mostly people are vegetarians. They may not be. But hostel food is essentially vegetarian. Our hostel food. That depends. That depends. So they might be eating. I don't know. If they are vegetarians or non-vegetarians. Our Tibetan students have never bothered to never try to know. But if at all they are non-veg, that's a different case. Maybe must be going out and eating. But our university hostels are veg. So that used to be the case with China, and now just because they have captured Tibet through a military action, they start claiming our borders. They want they have dispute with us in Arunachal, they have dispute with us in Siachen, they have dispute with us in many other places, Golan, etc., many other places. This is only because they have captured Tibet. Otherwise, with the people of Tibet, we will not bother about borders. We will be just walking across, like they keep doing even now. We will be just walking across, like Nepal or Bhutan. They come to us and we go to them. The borders are only technical. Now, from you see the international community, they have all mouth and all words about Kashmir, whereas Kashmir was never a part of so-called Pakistan. Of course, Pakistan also was not a nation in those days. It's only that after Bharat wins freedom, they got separated, because their loud claim is that Muslims can't live with anybody else. Of course, they do practices it even today. There is no question of coexistence anyway. So Tibet was occupied by China, and all those who speak for Kashmir are very silent about Tibet, Chinese occupation of Tibet, or the suffering of Tibetans. You can imagine. I need not to say. You can imagine under the Chinese occupation what is the situation of the Tibetans. You can imagine. No one speaks about them. Some people talk about Palestine occupation. They won't speak about Israel. The problem that is ongoing now, who started the whole story? The Hamas, in their nitwits, go about attacking Israel as though they will just burn down Israel. Thousands of people marching in, simply killing people indiscriminately. That no one is accusing. They are asking Israel to be peaceful. These kind of double standards we find all over the world, especially with those who are so-called custodians of certain things in this world. Now, that is how, when Bharat is becoming powerful, people don't like it, because they are on another custodian, because these custodians are united. They are united caucus. So, no one speaks about Tibet. The US, Big Brother, they have their interest in China because it's their corporates who make their manufacturing units in China for cheap labor and facilities. Now, with the emergence of Bharat, they find Bharat more friendly. I don't know whether it is less expensive or more expensive as compared to China, but they at least find us more friendly, more accepting, and they slowly are shifting to Bharat. And of course, our people, the Chinese are very, very good in technology, undoubtedly. They create all kinds of things, though not very lasting kind of thing, but they are good. That one has to accept. So now, perhaps there was some movement in the US Senate. They were speaking for Tibet. That's a change. From 2010, no one spoke about Tibet. They all agreed silently to the movement, to the position of China. But now at least US did something officially. It's time that Tibet should be free. It's time that His Holiness Dalai Lama should be given his due position in Tibet as a separate nation where he will rule, and he is not a common ruler like other rulers. He is a spiritual ruler. That's a culture of Tibet. China is actually destroying their culture, in spite of the fact that they are also fundamentally Buddhists, and the communism, they have covered their tradition and their culture. They're wrapped up in the communist red flag and staying aloof. So let's, at least we can just speak and think, and what we can do, that's sufficient. But whatever we can do, let's do for the sake of Tibet. For as a person, as a Nagarik of Bharat, my interest is that the moment Tibet is free, then we will not have to bother about China and their border. They will not, their soldiers will not come to our borders and start creating hangama, saying in Hindi, or creating hue and cry. So let's think for Tibet. Let's aspire for the real freedom of Tibet and real ruler, His Holiness Dalai Lama, going back to Tibet and sitting and ruling it. Let's hope. And possibly, if you believe in prayers, do pray. Till we meet again, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.